generation, and building through Him. These transforming programs are made possible by your support.
This is Mary Jo Parrish, host of the Building Through Him podcast and founder of Kingdom Builders. On Building Through Him, we hope to affirm every woman in their role as beloved daughters of the King, reminding them to recognize, love, and honor their unique beauty and design. Your support helps make that possible. Thank you for listening to and supporting Redeemer Radio.
Now all I have on in the radio in my car is Redeemer Radio. I don't listen to anything else. I listen to music from my phone or something, but if I'm listening to anything locally, if I want something spiritual during Lent, Advent, it's Redeemer Radio all the way.
Let the Holy Spirit work through your generosity. Give securely online by going to redeemerradio.com and click Give Now or call 260-436-9598.
It costs about $120 to provide Redeemer Radio listeners with 1 hour of Catholic programming. All donors who give this amount or more automatically qualify for a specially designed t-shirt. Call today and support Redeemer Radio's efforts to amplify the voice of the Creator with content that invites.
Did you know each hour of Shareathon is live on YouTube and Facebook? You can watch what's happening in real time and then share the hour with your friends or family when it's over. Just go to YouTube, search for Redeemer Radio, and hit subscribe, or like us on Facebook, or both. Your support of Redeemer Radio helps us find new ways to provide authentically Catholic content to those who are lost and searching. Call or text GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line at 260-436-9598 or donate online at redeemerradio.com. This is Redeemer Radio Shareathon. Thank you for listening to and supporting your local Catholic radio station.
Good morning. This is John Christensen. I'm your volunteer host for the next hour. And this hour for the Redeemer Radio Shareathon, we're joined in the studio from Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana. So in the studio, we've got Tom Skiba, the Board of Directors Chair, and Aaron Kennerk, the Business Manager. So Aaron, can you start us off with prayer today?
Yes. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father, we ask you to watch over us today. We thank you for the wonderful gift of Redeemer Radio and the hearts that have been changed through its ministry. Please guide our thoughts, words, and actions, and may your servants listening today answer the call to support this evangelization through Redeemer Radio. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Aaron. That's great. Excellent way to start the day with our concept of good stewards as we move towards the Redeemer Radio Shareathon goal. The goal this hour is $5,000, but we've got an excellent opportunity to grow that quickly with a dollar-for-dollar match up to $2,000. The phone number to donate is 260-436-9598, or you can text the word GIVE to Holy Cross College text line at the same number, 436-9598, or go directly to redeemerradio.com. So Tom and Aaron, welcome.
Thank you.
And Tom, you've done this before a little bit, right?
I've been on a show before talking about the foundation, sit on boards, good things like that. So this is just having fun.
Excellent. And you were telling me a little bit earlier that this is the easiest job ever for this board of directors that you're able to be on.
Of all the boards of directors that I am, and I have the pleasure of sitting on the diocesan committees, but this has got to be the easiest board I've ever been on, the Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana. We raise money. We have world-class people helping us with our investments, and I give money away with Aaron's help. He really does the work.
Excellent.
And so this is a great board.
Can't beat that to give money away. Now, of course, we're trying to do the opposite today, right? So
exactly.
We're trying to bring money in.
We're here to talk about you today
exactly.
at Redeemer Radio. That's why we're here.
That's right. And Aaron, welcome. So as business manager, you're doing all the dirty work. You're getting everything done. Is that right?
Yes, I am. From writing checks and helping them organize all the grants coming in, to paperwork and all the good stuff in between, all the phone calls. I take most of those as well.
Really,
Nice.
well, he's being very modest. He really coordinates our work with all the parishes and schools that we support in high school. So beside being a business manager, he's really our coordinator with the people, the recipients of,
Exactly.
of our grants. So
Exactly.
If I'm honest, I have multiple hats. You may call me business manager, but you say something and I'll get it done.
Excellent. That's great. And what are some of the projects you're working on right now?
Right now we are working on some of the scholarships. I've been coordinating with people and trying to figure out where your scholarship's at now. How can we help this scholarship grow to be bigger than what it already is? Some of the grants we have right now, I'm just being in contact with all the business managers saying, hey, this is available if you need it, or do you want to let it grow this year to use it next year? But we'd love for you to take it because this is for you. And I'm here to serve the church. I'm here to serve you. So what can I do to help you?
right, he's again being very modest. You'll have to learn that about him. But you know, we donate $400,000 to each of the high schools in the area. Some of our new projects is certainly working with the seminary and costs that we have in the diocese. You know, one of our new things we like to talk about, you know, again, we do food banks, whether it be Little Flower or St. Mary's Food Kitchen. But one of our new initiatives is St. Joseph Mission for single women in our area that we were able to I think, give them $65,000 to help them get up and going. So they're about to open. So
Excellent.
It's just, you know, we're Catholic valued, doing Catholic things in the Fort Wayne South Bend Diocese area. So it's like 14 counties. So that's who we
Excellent.
are.
It's a great merger of the mission of Redeemer Radio too, as we reach out and
Exactly.
touch people in whatever way that they need to be touched to really support their efforts to showcase their Catholic faith and live their Catholic faith. So it's a really great connection between the Catholic Community Foundation Northeast Indiana and Redeemer Radio. So, and the unique thing about the foundation, as I understand it, is giving that away. Is you're dealing with people who really want to donate dollars, and so it's not necessarily a grant organization where somebody requests money, but really you're working with donors who want to make a difference with their dollars.
Exactly. It's really how can they leave a legacy? And the bulk of our dollars, and we'll take a little bit of credit, and Mike Shade apologizes he can't be here today because of family health matter, but about 3 or 4 years ago, we were $40 million in assets. We're now 70.
Wow.
And so good investment return, encouraging people to donate. But most of our monies are earmarked for a purpose, a parish, a purpose, a school. And again, it's the opportunity, much like they can do for you all here, is to leave that legacy, you know, whether it's an endowment fund or donor advised fund. The mechanisms really don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But how can I make that legacy to keep you all going for forever, basically.
That's
So,
great. And we've talked before this week about nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something. And that type of legacy aspect where dollars obviously fund a lot of things, you know, so there's a matter of really helping people hands-on, and there's another way of making sure that there's dollars behind those efforts to make them last forever.
right, much like you, you know, portraying and espousing Catholic values. Again, that's what we're doing. And so, you know, again, it's leaving that legacy. We're Catholic leaders from all across the diocese that manage it. Again, we're very socially responsible investing. But again, can I leave that legacy? So, you know, we want you to be successful too, because you're broadcasting our mission. So you're really out there doing that. We're just trying to manage money and helping folks. So you're our prime focus today.
That's
so.
great. That's great.
In leading that legacy, you know, a lot of people think, oh, I need bid money to do this. And just like the Shareathon, you do not need bid money. $10 goes such a far way. We have multiple endowments that have scholarships in someone's name, a teacher, things like that, where multiple people came together and made $10, $15 gifts. Some made bigger, and that's wonderful. But it's just as important as that small dollar. Same, like I said, today, any gift that people give today will help so much to take care of Redeemer Radio.
Excellent. That's a great segue, Aaron. As we talk about Redeemer Radio Shareathon, the goal again is $5,000, and for this hour, a dollar for dollar match up to $2,000. The number to call is 260-436-9598. That's 436-9598. Or you can text the word GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line. And as Aaron said so well, every dollar counts. So if you donate any more than $120, that'll qualify you for the Made for Greatness t-shirt. It costs approximately $120 per hour for Redeemer Radio to be on the air. Or, again, thanks to Tom Skiba right here, if you donate $300 or more, you are automatically eligible to win 2 tickets to Notre Dame versus USC on October 23rd. So, Tom, a big Notre Dame fan?
My wife and I are grads, and I'm going to have to correct you. It's really from my wife and I are donating the tickets,
yes,
so I can't
good call.
exclude her.
Yes.
So we're both grads. It's a great game. Don't go to StubHub, and you'll pay too much for the tickets. We donate about 24 tickets to charity, so we're thrilled to do that with Redeemer Radio, and hopefully it incents some people again to donate to you.
Excellent. That is great, Tom. Yes, you and Kathy for sure. We've got a couple of donations that already have come in. So Dave Steffen, Pamela Johnston, a shout out to Mike Shade, the CEO of the foundation, Paul Chanel, $595, and Diane Mayfield. So keep the calls coming in as we move towards our goal this particular hour. And also one more reminder, a donation of $400 or above qualifies for a day sponsor. It earns 6 on-air messages for the day of your choice. Or a donation of $700 earns 12 on-air messages, or $1,000 or more earns 18 on-air messages for the day of your choice. Perfect for honoring your anniversary, birthday, feast day, or remembrance of a loved one. So obviously you're dealing with lots of individuals who have sort of goals and passions in terms of how they can express their Catholic faith. So tell me a story or two about some of the people that you're working with to be able to develop their own foundation, or where their goals may be and how they want to focus their dollars.
Well, I can share a wonderful story, and I'm not going to get it exactly right because I wasn't firsthand hearing this, but we have a fund called the Mary Hopkins Fitzpatrick Fund for Unwed Mothers. This fund came about 22 years ago. There's a gentleman whose daughter was pregnant out of wedlock, and she gave her child up for adoption. And as time has gone, the father has passed, the daughter has passed, but before the father passed, he set up an endowment in memory of her for unwed women. Now, about 20 years later, we were looking at this fund and like, how do we support unwed women? This fund has been here, how do we do it? And at around the same time, A Mother's Hope was coming around. So we said this is a perfect opportunity to support A Mother's Hope for pregnant women. It's going to go to a great cause and help them in any way they need it. The beautiful thing about this is we were searching around trying to figure out, is the father alive, who's around. We reached the brother, and the brother said, yes, please, that's a perfect way to use this endowment. And he goes, I have a beautiful story to tell you, though, if you have a second. I said, yes. He goes, it's interesting you call me today, because yesterday my sister's son called and said that he wants to reconnect to us, and it was just a beautiful moment because we've never heard from him, and now we're going to get to know who he is and share our stories together.
That's great. It's a beautiful way to celebrate life, in so many different levels and so many different generations. So that's a great story of how people's dollars can support the lives of other people really directly and in perpetuity, which is a great example.
Absolutely.
That's good. Tom, how did you get involved with the board? Obviously you're on a lot of different things, and how did this one fall into your lap?
I guess about 13 years ago, it was Bishop Darcy who called me and said, I need as a retired CPA of 40 years, plus, he said, I need someone to run the audit committee. Well,
you don't say no to Bishop Darcy.
Bishop Darcy. And then he said, well, but you should be on the investment committee because that's a subcommittee of the audit committee. Well, you should also be on the finance committee, and I have some special projects for you. And about 3 or 4 years later, they said, you know this knowledge now, you should be on the Catholic Community Foundation board. And apparently I did too well that about a year later, I'm on the executive committee, then I was vice president for a year, and I will be president for the next 2 years. So
nice.
I don't know about you, but I can't turn a request from the bishop. Why, yes, I'd love to do that. So I'm thrilled to be part of this organization. And so we've really reinvigorated. It's been around for a long time, but we really have reinvigorated it. We have an independent board of directors, again, doing the Catholic values that you talked about. So we're just doing good things and making more people aware of this. My good story would be that people, as they become aware of us, are putting in their wills and estates. There's an individual that will leave multiple 9 figures to us, that, with his legacies that he specifically wanted to do. So we're not in competition with the diocese or Redeemer Radio. We're not after those operating dollars. We're after those long-term dollars so you can leave that legacy. So we work hand in hand, and we love working with Redeemer Radio, St. Joe Mission, Catholic Charities. We met with the president of St. Francis. It's how can we work together? We're all on the same team, I guess.
Exactly.
Is a simple way to look at it.
Exactly. And in theory, anybody could donate to, or could bring their dollars to you, and Redeemer Radio could be one of the sources that receives the money over perpetuity too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's all part of the process.
Aaron, again, is a very humble guy, but he set up accounts literally for every parish and school. So we are making it as easy as we can within our great software to make that contribution. So, if your listeners are so bent on long-term giving, just contact him or Aaron or Mike Shade, and we'll be happy to put that money into the Redeemer Radio account. So
excellent. And we've got another donation came in from Leanne Kennerk. So again, call or text 260-436-9598. Our goal this hour is $5,000, and we've got a dollar for dollar match up to $2,000. You can text the word GIVE to Holy Cross College text line at 436-9598, or go directly to redeemerradio.com.
And thank you, Mom, for that gift. Appreciate it.
That's good. It's always good to get the parents involved. So earlier this week we had 2 families of 11, so we had kind of a nice grouping of relatives. It's always helpful to have the big family. So thanks, Mom. So as we look at all these different things now, some of the mission of what you do, I understand that your patron saint also is St. Kathleen Drexel. Is that correct?
Right. Do you want to talk about the story of Kathleen Drexel? Was a wealthy individual that decided to devote her life to the church, and I don't know if you have the data.
I do.
Go ahead. I'll let him give the little background on it. Why Kathleen Drexel?
She is the second American-born saint to be canonized by the Catholic Church. Mother Catherine was born into a financially endowed family and dedicated her life to missionary. She helped open the first mission boarding school in Santa Fe, New Mexico, called St. Catherine's Indian School. Before her death, she established over 50 missions in 16 different states. Mother Catherine always had over 500 sisters teaching in 63 schools through the country, and we just really love her aspirations in taking care of mission, mission-driven.
That's a great example of not only just really hands-on mission and really making it happen and touching lives, but also without money there's no mission. So it's a combination. I think that's a great choice in terms of that patron saint, because you have to have both. There has to be funding behind it. Not that money has to rule our world, but money obviously drives a lot of things, and it really helps us reach more people.
When I was a CPA about 40 years ago, one of the Sisters of the Holy Cross, who actually went to law school with my wife at Notre Dame, taught me no money, no mission. And
exactly.
I kind of stuck with me all these years. So I kind of smirked when you said that, but you're exactly right, that, how can we help that mission that we carry out, like Redeemer Radio? So that's important to us.
It's true. It takes money to drive everything. It takes $120, for example, to make sure we do 1 hour of Redeemer Radio. There's a lot behind the scenes to reach many people where they are and how they're living, and so that's the importance of the Redeemer Radio Shareathon this month. Again, the phone number to call is 436-9598, and our goal this hour is $5,000. So you've got the mission behind you, you've got the patron saint behind you, you've got the people behind you, and obviously we talked about how you've grown from a $40 million fund to a $70 million fund. So is that about the investments? Is that about the more participants in terms of joining the?
I would say the last 3 or 4 years, it's a little bit of both. We've raised several $1 million in the last 3 or 4 years. Aaron's very humble. I'm going to say it about 5 times. And how much have you given away in the last 3 years?
In the last 3 years, we've given away about $6 million, maybe over that.
Wow.
One of the things that we try to portray is also our investing. We invest with Catholic Investment Services, and those are Catholic organizations that help pull their money to maximize the return. who founded it about 4 or 5 years ago. 2 guys. One was dear to my heart, Scout Malpass, the Chief Investment Officer of Notre Dame, who's just retired, but he's very active with Catholic Investment Services. And then another guy whose book I just read, Jack Brennan. And Jack was the CEO and chairman of this little thing called the Vanguard Group, which was $7.2 trillion as of last June. I know Scott is pretty good because of his great track record and Endowment Manager of the Year while he was at Notre Dame. But I was kidding the bishop that Scott also advises the Vatican about their investments. And he did such a good job that the Pope and the Vatican put him on the Vatican Bank Board. So I'm feeling pretty good that we've got that investment.
Must be doing something right.
Under control. So what kind of return have we seen? We were in 2019, 17.8%, 2020, 20.8%, and we're up probably through 8 months about 12.8%. So we're by far beating our benchmarks. So that is really working in terms of, again, no money, no mission. That really has helped our growth as a foundation. The other thing we always talk about, we follow the social responsible investing guidelines of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. So, there are things we just won't invest in, as well as instructing our managers not to invest in. So, and that has really paid off. People say, well, if you do that, then you limit your return. Not really. And so by following Catholic guidelines, our investment results are actually better than the average bearer. So again, that's another thing we're very proud of.
That's great. And that's a little bit hard to do. I mean, you have to dig in deep because so many people, so many funds are connected in so many different ways, right?
Right. Some funds are specific or separate funds that are per purpose, but we have each of our managers sign the thing, I shall not invest in restricted investments, and there's over 700 now. Landmines, abortion, there's things, pornography, we just won't invest in. So by following good Catholic values, again, we've done well investment-wise. So
that's great. Excellent. And part of that, it takes a lot of work to do that because some of those things that you necessarily don't want to invest in, it's not like it's obvious, so it's sometimes hidden, under multiple layers. And so obviously there's a lot of work to be done. It's not a matter of just kind of pushing buttons and say, yeah, put money here and here. There's a lot of effort.
Right. We probably have about 25, 26 managers scattered across the globe, primarily the United States, that really, again, follow those guidelines. And if you want to work with us, you will follow those guidelines. So,
yes, they are very much held to those standards, and if they were to break that, well,
we fire them. It's simple. It's simple. We get a new manager, but we've really not had that problem. It's very highly monitored. Again, give credit to some of my Notre Dame friends. They are experts in that field. Catholic Investment Services follows to a T those guidelines. So, again, Catholic leaders doing Catholic values and great things like Redeemer Radio. So
exactly. It's a wonderful connection to the mission, and it's about leaders who are willing to live according to their faith and being held accountable to that. So speaking of investments, we've got $1,020 so far in donations, so we're well on our way to the goal of $5,000, and we're only $980 left to get to the full $2,000 dollar-for-dollar match that will help us get to our $5,000 very quickly. Again, the phone number to call is 436-9598. That's 260-436-9598. Or you can text the word GIVE to Holy Cross College text line or go to redeemerradio.com. A reminder, it costs approximately $120 for Redeemer Radio to be on the air, so your donation of $120 qualifies you for the Made for Greatness t-shirt. Or if you want to take advantage of Tom and Kathy Skiba's generosity with Notre Dame tickets, when you pledge $300 or more, you are automatically eligible to win 2 tickets to Notre Dame versus USC on October 23rd. So, Aaron, tell me a little bit about what a typical day looks like for you.
Well, right now the first thing we do is we come in, we get settled in, and we do prayer. We have a prayer request on our website, so anyone who has prayer requests, we'd love to pray for you. So that's one of the first things we do. And then once we get into that, we start going over, okay, what's going on today? Who are we meeting with? What grants may be going out? Who needs contacted with? Who have we not heard from for a while that we can help? A lot of times we talk to Tom. I mean, not every day, but often. He's a great asset to the foundation, helping us out.
I'm old, so there we go.
So tell me about the prayer. That's a great way to start your day. And obviously, from a we do it personally, but being able to be in an environment where you can start the day with prayer, how does that help kind of frame what you do in a given day?
Well, right now, so my father-in-law actually gave me a St. Joseph prayer book, so that's what we're starting with right now,
Nice.
Isn't anything added on that we need to. But it's just a wonderful way to get your day going, and we ought to start our day with God. You know, there's no reason not to, and it's very humbling to get your day going and always make sure that He's our focus. You know, at the foundation, we serve Him. Redeemer, you guys serve Him. That's why we're here.
Right, we can't thank you enough. You keep thanking us, but we want to thank you. You know, you're in the car, listen to Redeemer Radio, you know, whether it be the bishop or me, sometimes sports. You know, you've got some great sports programming, so, you know, you're getting that message out. You know, we're the administrative backroom kind of guys, but you're in the front lines. I always think the front line, whether you're on a parish finance council or Redeemer Radio, you're that hands-on, making it happen, you know, living our faith, so.
Absolutely. Living our faith, that's a great way to say it. That's a great way to say it, Tom. Thank you very much. So at this point, we're halfway through our hour, so we'll take a little bit of a break right now, and then we'll come back and continue talking to the Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana towards our goal of $5,000. Keep the calls coming in.
Redeemer Radio broadcasts the truth and beauty of the Catholic faith 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We bring the good news of Christ to listeners throughout the Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend and beyond. With your donation, Redeemer Radio can continue planting the seeds of faith in the hearts of every listener.
I think all areas need Catholic radio. It's just, once I started listening to it and I would change the channel to regular programming and I would hear the music that was on and I would hear the message that the music was singing, I would hear the things that the DJs were talking about on, it was heartbreaking almost. I was like, I don't want to listen to this garbage. And so I would turn it back because you hear a good message. You hear about hope and faith and love and truth and beauty and goodness and everybody needs that. Everybody needs that, no matter where you are, no matter what you're listening to. And once you start to fill up your space with that, going back to the other stuff, you really see where it's lacking.
Joining our mission is even easier with our mobile app. Download Redeemer Radio's app to your Apple or Android device and click Give Now.
This is Bishop Kevin Rhodes. On my program, Truth and Charity, I'm able to connect with the faithful across our diocese each week, discussing a variety of topics and answering your questions. Thank you for listening to and supporting Catholic programming like Truth and Charity, heard right here on Redeemer Radio.
Become a day sponsor and honor a birthday, anniversary, feast day, or other special occasion with an on-air message. With a $400 donation, your personalized message will air 6 times on the day of your choosing. For a $700 donation, it will air 12 times. And for $1,000, it will air 18 times. Plus, your donation supports the mission of Redeemer Radio. Become a day sponsor now.
Help us amplify the voice of God. Pledge now by calling or texting GIVE to 260-436-9598.
Help us continue reaching souls for Christ. Call or text GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line at 260-436-9598 or donate online at redeemerradio.com. This is Redeemer Radio's Shareathon. Thank you for tuning in to your listener-supported local Catholic radio station.
Good morning. This is John Christensen. I'm your volunteer host for the hour of the Redeemer Radio Fall Shareathon. This hour, we're joined in the studio with the Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana, the board chair, Tom Skiba, and the business manager, Aaron Kennerk, today. So we're talking a lot about the opportunities of what dollars can do in our community and how an investment, making the money drive everything we do and how we do it. So no money, no mission is the theme of this hour. Our goal is $5,000, and we've got a special dollar-for-dollar match up to $2,000. So a few more calls have come in over the break. We've got $1,200, $1,295 so far. We're getting close to the $2,000 match. Now, Aaron, you were telling me a little bit that the match is made up of a lot of different people in terms of bringing their donations to help our total dollar grow.
Absolutely. The Catholic Community Foundation Northeast Indiana has $1,000 that we made on match, so we would definitely have that out. But also, I'd like to thank Tom and Kathy Skiba. They have offered $500 for the match, and the staff of the Community Foundation has also offered $500.
Nice, nice. So everybody's involved. Everybody's engaged in the process. That's great. Excellent. And we haven't really talked about this, but the underlying message here is we've really been talking about the parable of the stewards and the parable of talents in terms of how we grow. Even a little bit helps. So can you talk a little bit about kind of how that's really kind of driven what you do on a daily basis, Aaron?
Yeah, God has blessed all of us with many gifts, and we need to use our gifts in offering to Him. So some people, a Matthew Kelly thing I read, some people are good at making money, some people are good at giving away things, some people are good at labor. And all those things are important because all those can help build the church. So same thing with here, I'm good at numbers. I love numbers. Tom Skiba loves numbers. It's kind of what we do. But we also love meeting with people and growing the church. Our sole purpose is to take care of every school, every parish, every ministry, Catholic ministry around here, that in a beautiful way, hopefully one day, they don't really have to worry about, oh, my AC went out, how am I going to fund this? Because we at the foundation may have that money to take care of them.
Right. I would add seminarians. Again, it's a big budget item. It was $1.3 million cost last year. And, again, we have some specific fundraising, but we're trying to help fund that. I think we are the top in the United States with 31, 32 seminarians, several new priests. That is by far the best in Indiana.
It's a good problem to have. Exactly.
It's a great problem to have. I never complain that we're over budget on that expense, but how can we help fund that cost, which will do nothing but benefit everyone in the community, in our diocese, I guess.
For sure. And we've got another donation that came in from Ann Heine, and we're now at $1,395. So we're getting close to the $2,000 match, on our way to the $5,000 goal. A reminder that the phone number to call is 260-436-9598, or you can text the word GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line, or go to redeemerradio.com. So Tom, tell me, obviously, we were talking about the talents and the good with numbers, but tell me about the people part of it. So individuals come in and they say, basically, we have dollars, we know what we want to do. How can you help us fulfill this mission? Is that the process?
Basically, you're exactly right. That I come in and the bulk of our money is for specific purposes. So I want to support my parish long after I'm gone. So you come in. We have specific agreements. Our intent is really to always honor your intention, and nobody can stray from that intended purpose. So we document that purpose. We have an agreement that we and you will sign to say, I want the money to go, for example, St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, my parish. Mm-hmm. And so, we will honor that request. Again, by having an independent board, we will make sure that happens. So, again, I like, what you both are saying. I'm a leadership Fort Wayne puppy in South Bend. I did the same thing. Whether you call it wealth, wisdom, and workers, or time, talent, and treasure, again, very diversified board, from accountants, attorneys, to development people. Occasionally we even get the bishop at our meetings. he's a busy guy. We'll give him a break. But, not only the people who have those kind of talents, Father Mark Gertner, Father Tony Steinecker, Father Jacob Runyon, they're also on our board because we need that spiritual aspect of managing the money or running a board. So you come in, we have agreements. You want to leave in a will, a estate, we can help you with that too, advise you the best way, maybe to save some tax dollars, but again, to really find and fine-tune what your intent is so we can preserve that intention of the particular donor. You're the donor. You get to call the ball. What do I want to support? So someone comes in and goes, I'd like to support Redeemer Radio. Well, they could do it generally, or I want it for capital of the Redeemer Radio, or programming. It's your donation. Call the ball. What would you like to support? And we will certainly honor that intent forever.
And sometimes people don't know what's available to donate to, so you
Right.
coach them along the way too in terms of what options you have.
One of the things that we talk about a lot is, we have our tithing we give to the church. We have our tithing that we give to Redeemer Radio. And when we pass, it stops. But it doesn't have to. You can create life insurance policies that would benefit Redeemer Radio. You can put in your estate that you'd like to give a percentage. Some people, what they do is, I have 4 children, so the 5th children is the church. So in one way, shape, or form, that 5th child, the church, is going to get a percentage of what I have to leave.
That's a really, I love that analogy because it's so many times, especially now, we're so focused inward. What's my immediate need? What's happening in my family? But really locking in. I love the analogy of having an extra child and as the church, and really reinforcing the community aspect of it, that we're here together. We're not here by ourselves. That's great.
Right, and the other thing about that too is you can set it up so whatever your tithe is, we can help you calculate how much that is, so you can create an endowment for that. Then your tithing will continue forever after you're gone. So your tithing or your gift to Redeemer Radio can continue forever for years to come, which is so beautiful.
Right. One of the things we do is people don't understand. People think, well, it depends on how my investments are doing. Following up MIFA, the Uniform Prudent Management of Institutional Funds Act, we have a payout policy. So win or lose in the stock market or equity market, bond market, we always have a payout policy of 4.5%. So that money will always go to the designated recipient of your gift. Now, we cheat a little bit because we said we had such great investment returns. If you really need a little more or have a special need, we would certainly do our best to accommodate that, or some of the new monies or new organizations that we're supporting. So, that's another aspect of us. We will always make sure that an organization has the ability to get that grant award every year, win or lose in the stock market. So.
A great example of that is St. Joseph Missions. Tom, would you like to say something about them?
Yeah, again, I mentioned a little bit briefly, but here's a new organization. There was a gap in the community for single women. Where do they go if they're homeless? And we have a particular fund for feeding and homeless individuals. As this was a startup organization supported both by the diocese and now us, we donated $65,000 really to get that organization off the ground, filling a gap and a great need in the community. So it's about to open. Lisa Fabian is our executive director. So that's one of our new initiatives, but it just fits our mission, why we're here. So that's a great example we're in. So.
Excellent. Yes, and all of this fits great with the Redeemer Radio mission as well at the same time, and that parable of the talents where one person's investment and everybody benefits. So here at Redeemer Radio today with our fall Shareathon, our goal is $5,000 for this hour, and we're getting closer and closer to the total match of up to $2,000, dollar for dollar match. Thank you, Sarah Hilger, for your donation. So we're well on our way. Keep the dollars coming in to double your match, double your donation with the $2,000 match. Made generously by the Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana in this hour. The phone number to call is 260-436-9598. Again, 260-436-9598, or go directly to redeemerradio.com as well. So tell me a little bit more about your different categories. So you've got parish life, you've got Catholic education, you've got community, you've got vocations. Are you able to see the recipients of some of these? Are you able to kind of enjoy kind of the impact that you are making when you write those checks?
Oh, one of the most beautiful things we recently got to do, besides St. Joseph Missions, is a gift last year to Queen of Angels. And they had an endowment for their Faber Center, which is essentially their gym. They had the older style gym where it's all installation that you can see at the top. And through the gift we were able to do, we placed all their gym doors that were getting to the point of needing replaced. And they were able to put a very nice steel wall up over the installation. This way the basketballs, volleyballs, things like that didn't get stuck up there, and it just looks so nice.
Right, we talk about social services, we talk about vocations, parish life is very important to us, as well as Catholic education. I mentioned we support Catholic high schools or the Catholic schools throughout the diocese. I mean, that's kind of one of our core principles, or pillars, if you will, is really promoting that Catholic education. Certainly vouchers help, but it's not enough. And a lot of the schools are helped by the parishes, so how can we help them with that initiative? Again, replacing equipment, et cetera, as we continue to build. So,
excellent. So are you finding the education being more of an impact or more physical structures? Is it a little bit of balance of both?
It's honestly a balance of both. I see, we're working on a project right now with another school to try to help them with physical structure, but it's tuition assistance and scholarships. It's we do have endowments for maintenance of schools and parishes. We obviously have the St. John Paul II fund that supports seminarians. One of the beautiful things about that is we're constantly meeting with the seminarians and priests to see what can we do for you, how can we help you, what will make the biggest impact to serve you.
Right, one of the schools we just visited, the particular fund that we have not only supported scholarships, but technology. So whether it be a computer lab or new computers for teachers, et cetera, again, we go back to the donor's intent again. What do you want to support? I want to help my parish, but I have a particular need helping low income or lower income students that have financial need. But also then the interesting spin was really the computer labs. You know, how can we help them keep up with technology? So again, you're the donor. You get to call the ball as to what you'd like to support. So
that's great. Well, it's fun to think about how our faith can lead in lots of different directions, whether it's education like we do here sometimes at Redeemer Radio, where we're just educating people about the faith and making sure that our awareness and our understanding about what the church teaches and why leads us in the right direction, or whether it's inspiration, again, like we do here at Redeemer Radio, to inspire people based on other people's stories and what's important to you and your own life experience, and how we can extend that help to other people, or physical structures to just make sure we have the resources we need and the structure we need to help others, whether it be through technology or whether it be through a building or whether it be through facilities. So all of those connections with Redeemer Radio and the Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana, reflecting the generosity of so many people here in Northeast Indiana as they share their Catholic faith, live their Catholic faith, and inspire others to do the same. The phone number to call as we move towards our $5,000 goal, we're making a little bit closer and closer with every phone call, is 260-436-9598. That's 436-9598. Or you can text the word GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line. And a reminder, it costs approximately $120 per hour for Redeemer Radio to be on the air. So with your donation of $120, you also are eligible for a Made for Greatness t-shirt. Or, again, thanks to the generosity of Tom and his wife, Kathy, when you pledge $300 or more, you're automatically eligible to win 2 tickets to Notre Dame versus USC on October 23rd. So it's not too cold at that point, so good fall weather for a football game.
It's good fall weather here in the Midwest. So it is a night game, though, so,
even better.
And it'll be nationally televised, of course, so that'll be fun. One of the things how we can help Redeemer Radio that I'll let Aaron talk about is a program that we're sponsoring, not After Dollars for Ourselves, it is I Give Catholic. And this is something, you've seen this with other organizations. So that is something we sponsored last year for our Catholic friends throughout the diocese. I'll let Aaron talk about it, but how much did we raise in our initial year for the benefit of parishes, Redeemer Radio, other kind of organizations?
It was well over $100,000 that we raised and it wasn't just us, it was all the schools and parishes that were involved with it, obviously. But it's a wonderful thing. Mike and I, we saw the need for everyone to have a cash gift now. You know, an endowment, it's invested. We give you a percentage of the money every year. Very beneficial, but we need those dollars now as well. So as a foundation, we were putting our heads together and figured out, how can we do this? We came across I Give Catholic, which is Giving Tuesday, the Catholic version of Giving Tuesday. And we learned that the Giving Tuesday wasn't really captured by the Catholic audience yet. So why not give a Catholic opportunity of giving on Giving Tuesday? And the foundation sponsored it again for the first time last year. We'll be doing it again this year, where any Catholic non-for-profit church, parishes, ministries, apostolates can come in, and we'd love to help raise money for them, and it goes directly to them. We're not holding anything. We're not making an endowment out of it. It's going to support your mission. So if you need new doors, like I said before, you can raise money for that, and people come together, and it's the most beautiful thing.
It's easy. You go on your computer, you push a few buttons, enter your data, click, the money goes to a Redeemer Radio or another Catholic organization. So again, we want to make it simple for people to donate, whether it's short-term or long-term giving.
That's a great point. Sometimes we really overthink the donations, you know, and it's just, I love what you're saying, because it's a lifestyle, you know, to make sure, whether, again, you look at it like as a fifth child, as you mentioned, Aaron, or whether you look at it just as a routine or a regular ongoing donation. It's just, how do we just make sure it's part of the process? So what have you learned personally in terms of that stewardship theme, in terms of what it does for you? Obviously, it helps the organization receiving the money, but what about for you? How have you grown personally in terms of your own stewardship lessons that you've learned?
You know, I'm just the middleman in this thing, trying to do everything, but personally, it's made me even more giving. You know, I've realized that every small gift I give does make an impact. So I'm more given to give a gift here, there, and where I want to support, even though it's small, because I know it's going to help.
I would agree. Again, it's my Catholic education background, including Notre Dame. They really build in your DNA the sense of stewardship to support great organizations like Redeemer Radio. And so, you know, we almost take it for granted that, you know, this is the thing we need to do. So you build in that responsibility or stewardship. It's something that just makes you feel good. And I've enjoyed going with Aaron and Mike and others, parish priests, etc., to go see the byproduct of our work. You know, he's cutting a check, yeah, that's fine. But to go see that improvement in a school, or scholarships for people who couldn't otherwise afford it, or new technology that's saying, wow, you bought all new computers. Again, that gives you that really warm and fuzzy feeling. So,
excellent. That's great. And with that, we've got about 10 minutes left, actually 8 minutes left at this point, to make it to our goal of $5,000 and take full advantage of the dollar-for-dollar match up to $2,000. So keep those calls coming in during this last couple of minutes with the Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana. The number to call is 260-436-9598, or you can text the word GIVE to Holy Cross College text line. So as we were talking about stewardship and money, and so many times, you know, in Scripture, we're reminded that money's not our goal, and money's the bad thing, and beware of money. But at the same time, money can be the resource, the driving engine behind this. And so it's all about our perspective on how we look at our dollars. And Aaron, you said this earlier, that some people are gifted with, they are very good at making money, you know, and there's nothing wrong with making money, especially as you use it to its full advantage to make sure that we're driving the missions and helping support people who are doing incredible, wonderful things in our community to make them better and impact others and help others. And so it's really fun to be able to talk about when people are in their zone, if you will, to be able to, they've been successful and they want to be able to give back and help others be equally successful in perhaps a different way. And so I'm sure you've seen many different examples of individuals who are really gratified to be able to help others.
Go ahead.
But, and on top of that, you know, although money is so important, it helps us in many different ways. Again, we have people who are laborers, we have carpenters, we have painters and things like that. We have those in our church here. And they can call and say, hey, you know, this is my skill. I have extra paint. Do you need anything done? Or, hey, I have extra carpet here. Do you need anything done? Can I help you? Because what else am I going to do with it? They may not have a place to do it, so they may just need to get rid of it. So what can I do to help you? I may not have money, but I can physically do work and serve you.
It kind of echoes what I said before. Wealth, wisdom, and workers will help a nonprofit organization. So we're talking a lot about wealth, but it's the wisdom of those specialized skills. I'll give CPAs, credit attorneys, investment advisor folks. But he's really right. It's those worker bees that, you know, I'm going there actually improving a church or building something or maintaining the grounds. Those are equally important. So it's really the three aspects of involvement that make your organization and others work well. So
excellent. And speaking of that, St. John's New Haven made a donation, and now we're up to $1,845. So we're super close to the dollar for dollar match, up to $2,000. Make sure that we hit that in the next 5 minutes as we wrap up this hour with the Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana. But I love the examples. Those are really great because it's everybody coming together,
right?
And finding a common goal and finding a common, which is exactly what we try to do here at Redeemer Radio, is find that commonality. How can we connect with our story and your story to inspire people for greatness and really inspire people to do things outside their comfort zone? Right. And I like the examples that it doesn't mean that you have to be a millionaire to donate. This is really about every individual, because we all have dollars that we can share, and whether it's a little bit or a lot, I'm sure the foundation would be happy to work with anybody and everybody. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I have people who give about $10 a month. You know, in a monthly gift, $10, and I process that, and I'm so thankful for that. It doesn't matter if it's $10, $100, or a lot more. Everyone is just so important, and I appreciate it equally.
We have to tell you that Bishop Rhodes is a big fan of Redeemer Radio, so, you know, I know he's on programming also, but he really believes in your mission. So, and he's just a great guy, well-read, well-education. He reads everything. And then my particular curiosity is, if you send him an email or anything, he also grinds his teeth if you have bad grammar. So make sure your emails or letters to him are well written. So
that's great. Well, that's the beauty of radio, is we don't need to have perfect grammar written down, right? So we can just kind of talk it through. But that's a great example, and everybody from the bishop on down really supports. We're all coming together, and that's one of my favorite things about the fall Shareathon. Spring Shareathon, whatever Shareathon we're in, is an opportunity where we can all come together, and we talk a lot about texting and giving, and the phone number of 260-436-9598. But at the end of the day, it's about our community. It's about how everybody comes together and really supports what helps others. And it's not about one individual. It's about talking through how our faith drives our lives, drives our behavior, drives our decisions, and that's the beauty of Redeemer Radio. So we've hit the $2,000 match. We're at $2,545, and with that match, we're up to $4,545 with 3 minutes to go. So we're super close to the $5,000 goal. So way to go, all the people that are connected with the Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana. This is a really good hour. This is how it's supposed to work.
Thank you so much, everyone who's donating. It's a pleasure to be here, and I can't thank you enough for your gifts to Redeemer Radio.
Yeah, really, again, you're talking about us a lot, but thank you for what you all do. Again, you're getting that message out to people, and that's critical important these days.
And it's so easy sometimes. I mean, there's a lot of foundations. There's a lot of opportunities to really grow our dollars. There's a lot of places to give. So finding that right connection, knowing that we can trust where the money's going, how it's being invested, the return that you had talked about, Tom, in terms of the annual return of the investments is incredible, and with a Catholic focus. So sometimes we lose sight of that with a Catholic focus, that doesn't mean that we're giving up something. It doesn't mean we're settling for something. We can actually be very successful with our Catholic faith and our Catholic perspective.
Sure.
Excellent. As we keep the calls coming in, we've got a couple of more minutes left at this hour with Catholic Community Foundation of Northeast Indiana. The phone number again is 436-9598. And speaking of those $10 a month that Aaron was talking about earlier, so it costs approximately $120 per hour for Redeemer Radio to be on the air. And so those donations can be $10 a month, or it can be one check of $120, and that would make you eligible to receive the Made for Greatness t-shirt, our theme this year. Or thanks to the donation of Tom and his wife, when you pledge $300 or more, you are eligible to win 2 tickets to Notre Dame versus USC, an awesome night game on October 23rd. So we just received another donation from Jennifer Powell in honor of Cindy Black for all she does for Redeemer Radio. So that's a wonderful thing. There's a lot of people to thank here at Redeemer Radio. There's a lot of people to thank with our many guests that come into the studio. So again, thank you very much to Aaron and Tom for your time this morning. It's great to meet both of you.
Great. So where are you on your goal?
So we are getting close. I don't know exactly where the big goal is. So and we're typing furiously with all the different calls. So at $4,845. So all we need is another check for, help me out with the math, $160, $155 to get to $5,000, which to our total goal.
Well, if you don't get it, we'll do the rest, because we have to meet our goal. So Kathy and I will make up any short.
Oh, there you go. Tom comes through at the end. So way to go.
What a happy finish. So
that's great. So did we say it was $4,000? No, we meant it was like $2,000.
So the match, sure. Okay. I mentioned my wife's an attorney, so you better watch your stuff.
Exactly. Again, thank you very much. It was a great hour. Nice to meet you. And again, we're well on our way to our goal.
Sounds good. Thank you for what you do.
You're listening to Shareathon on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM WRDF, Columbia City, Fort Wayne, 95.7 FM WRDI, Napanee, Michiana, and streaming on the Redeemer Radio app. Stay tuned to your listener-supported local Catholic radio station.
Joining our mission is even easier with our mobile app. Download Redeemer Radio's app to your Apple or Android device